Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and on today's video we're going to break down if the Universal Express Pass is worth it or not for your next Universal Orlando trip. And this is another big video that we're doing. Of course, you all know that the Universal Express Pass is a premium product and it does come with a premium price tag. That's why we're taking the time to break down all of the pros and cons to the Universal Express Pass to help you figure out if it is worth it or not. Let's go get started. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video and continuing to help us grow our channel on YouTube. If you have not already subscribed, be sure to subscribe to our channel as you will get the latest and greatest breaking Universal news as it comes out. Also, you're going to get some tips and tricks just like this video. Well, if you're watching this video, we're guessing that you are planning your next Universal Orlando vacation and you might be wondering, is the Express Pass worth it or not? Now, the Universal Express Pass is a ticket that you could purchase as your one-way pass to skip most major lines. Now, the Express Pass can be purchased for Universal Studios Florida, Universal's Islands of Adventure, and of course for Volcano Bay. Now, with each of the different tiers and pricing, it does get a little complicated, and that's why we are creating videos like this to help you guys make the best decision possible. Now, the Universal Express Pass is very similar to the Disney Genie Lightning Lane, where guests will enter a separate queue line and skip the regular standby line. I mean, bottom line, for a fee, you can skip all the long waits and get on the rides as quickly as possible throughout your Universal Orlando trip. Now, if you're looking for additional information on the Express Pass, like which rides are included, how to upgrade it, even how to buy it, make sure to go check out our latest video, the Universal Express Pass versus the Universal Express Unlimited. But we're going to jump right in and we're going to start with the pros and the cons, because to truly decide if the Express Pass is worth it or not, we always find it's best to outweigh the pros, the cons, make a little list, and that's exactly what we did. So we're going to start with the pros, and that is, when is the Universal Express Pass worth it? Well, in our opinion, it's worth it if you're possibly only visiting Universal for one day. Taking it one step further, if you're only visiting for one day and you simply need to get on every single ride possible, you're not going to take no for an answer and you won't go home happy unless you do it. One step further, you do not want to wait on long lines. That seems like a pretty obvious one, but we do want to make sure we add it to the list. Number 4, I think we're up to at this point, if you're unable to get early park admission and you do want to take advantage of, some of the popular rides in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, you possibly might want to look at the Universal Express Pass. Now, another great thing about the Express Unlimited specifically is you can take advantage and ride multiple attractions multiple times throughout the day. So if you want to ride your favorite ride 10 times before you go back home, this is definitely the right ticket for you to do that. And then also another pro is if you can get a deal on a Universal Express Pass. So we have a couple of combo tickets on our site. However, there are also the Universal Premier hotels, which will give you the Universal Express Unlimited Pass absolutely free. But more importantly, the right fit for you during your Universal vacation. Now let's look at the cons and when is the Universal Express Pass not worth it. So starting with the most basic, and that is if you want to ride Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure or the Velocicoaster, the Express Pass is not worth it because those two rides are not included with the Universal Express Pass. On the flip side though, if you are taking advantage of early park admission, specifically because you want to ride Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure or the Velocicoaster, again, you do not need the Universal Express Pass because those two rides are included with early park admission. Moving down the list to number 3, you simply won't need it during the slower times of year at Universal Orlando. Also, this next one, I honestly could have put it on either side, the pro or the con, and I guess it's important for me to note that if it's your first time visiting Universal, we typically say don't upgrade and get the premium product because you're still feeling it out. However, on the flip side, again, if it's your first time and you're trying to just experience everything to see what you really do enjoy, then it could help you pretty much get on all the rides as quickly as possible, especially if you only have one day. So that's a tricky one. However, we'll leave it up to you guys to make that decision. Another reason why we think you possibly will not need the Express Pass is if you're visiting for 3 or more days. And you'll see a lot of folks that come to the Park Prodigy, they're, Disney fans just like I am, right? And they're going to experience a, Universal because it's something new and exciting, and maybe the kids are getting a little older and Universal has those thrill rides, right? You'll be pleasantly surprised to see that Universal is a completely different beast. It's a different game plan. It's just everything is closer and it's smaller. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. In this situation, it's actually a good thing because you can get a lot more done in a short amount of time. 3 days at Universal is plenty of time to have a ton of fun and get on a ton of rides. And then last but not least, if you're visiting Volcano Bay, the regular Express Pass might not be the right fit for you. And as you'll see, that's because Volcano Bay actually has their own Express Pass. Taking it one step further though, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into some of the most common questions, topics that we get regarding figuring out if the Universal Express Pass is worth it. We're going to start with the Express Pass wait times. So again, one of the most common questions we receive is, will this actually help save me time online, right? That's the most important thing. That's what everyone's trying to figure out. And you have to take into consideration when trying to answer that question, you got to look at the time of year that you're planning to visit, right? Because during non-peak times, and you can go and use our Orlando crowd calendar if you guys do need a little additional help finding those slow times of year, you'll see wait times are not going to be very long, obviously, because people just aren't traveling as much. So in that situation, you'll see that, yeah, you'll save some time. However, the regular standby lines might not be that much longer than, let's say, the Express Pass wait times. However, on the flip side, if you are planning to visit Universal Orlando during spring break, Thanksgiving, Christmas, summer vacations, any sort of big holiday, big school break, anything like that, then yes, you're going to see the Universal Express Pass is going to save you a significant amount of time compared to waiting on the regular line. And so the next point that we are going to mention is that typically on average, the Universal Express Pass will allow you to wait 10 to 12 minutes for most of the rides at Universal Orlando. Now, remember that number, 10 to 12 minutes, because that's going to be very important as we get into this next conversation, and that is the pricing. So, of course, one of the reasons why many families might be on the edge is because the pricing for the Universal Express Pass I said it in the beginning of this video, and I mean it, it's a premium price. It's a premium price. However, you'll see when you start to look at the numbers, I really do think that it is a premium product, and that's, if you've spoken with me on the phone, that's probably the exact word that I've said to you, because you'll see the numbers don't lie when it comes to the Express Pass. Now, we do have to start with the pricing, and of course, the pricing does fluctuate, and that's why these starting numbers that I'm about to go over, they're probably not going to be really where you could purchase them unless you're visiting during the slower times of year, and let's be real, we just went over that. You might not even need it during the slower times of year. However, we do have to start with the basics, and we have the regular Express Pass. The one time per ride is going to start right around $79. The unlimited Express Pass is going to start around $109. We have the Volcano Bay Express starting around $39. And then, of course, the Volcano Bay regular Express Pass is going to start around $19.99. And so you'll see the important thing to keep in mind is that during those really, really busy times of year, I said this in my last Express Pass video, you can see the Express Unlimited Pass fluctuate up to like $289 per person, and sometimes a little bit more. So with that being said, this is how we kind of try to figure out, okay, is the Express Pass worth it? Now, what I did was I looked at a typical Universal Orlando day. And typically Universal will be open between 8 to 12 hours per day. For this analysis, I used a 12-hour day because that's pretty much what the parks are going to be operating at during those busier times of year, sometimes a little bit more. I took the cost of a one-day park-to-park ticket and I said, okay, the average person is going to pay $16 per hour to be in Universal Studios. So the average person pays $16 per hour to stay in the park. So what I did, and I was very conservative with these numbers, I said, okay, if you have a 12-hour day and you're going to wait 45 minutes per ride, and I think that's conservative because on average for the popular rides, you're pretty much going to wait around 60 minutes per ride during the busy times of year. I said 45 to be conservative. How many rides will I get on in a 12-hour day? And when you do 12 hours divided by 45 minutes per ride, you get on 16 rides. Now, of course, that doesn't include meal breaks, anything like that, right? So this really isn't, I'm just using this as an example to show you the benefits, okay? On the flip side, remember, we took that 10 to 12 minute wait on average for the Express Pass. When we said a 12-hour day and we divided that, again, I was conservative and I said divided by 15 minutes per ride, you were able to get on 48 rides. Now, 48 minus 16, that means you got on 32 more rides within your one day. Now, of course, that's important for me to note that Universal doesn't even have 48 rides, okay? However, I'm just trying to show you the advantage mathematically. When you just look at the numbers, you could see that there is a benefit to having the Universal Express Pass. You can't get around that. You can't deny that. However, on the flip side, you have to figure out, based on the time of year that you're going, what are the average wait times? Now, of course, you could talk to a company like the Park Prodigy to figure that out, or now you guys, you really do have the info to try to figure that out on your own. I know this is a lot, but some people really enjoy this stuff. That's how we're doing it. I'm sorry I'm going on a rant in this video. That's how we try to figure out if the Universal Express Pass is worth it based on the price. Taking it one step further, it's important for us to note that there are 14 Express Pass attractions in Universal Studios Florida, and there are 13 in Islands of Adventure for you guys to do your own calculations at home. However, I do think it's pretty easy to see that with the basic Express Pass, you are pretty much guaranteed to get on everything throughout your time at Universal Orlando. And so I guess that brings us back to the beginning, and is the Universal Express Pass worth it? Well, as you could see, there is a ton to outweigh the pros and the cons when trying to figure out if the Universal Express Pass is worth it. Now, again, with all the great reasons above why you might be, thinking that it is worth it, that is amazing, fantastic. If it's the right fit for you, go for it. Like I said, I do think you will get your money's worth if you do decide to take the leap and go for the Universal Express Pass. However, on the flip side, like we said, if there are certain things like riding Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, the Velocicoaster with very, very little wait time, be sure to just take advantage of early park admission. However, the most important thing is always remember that this is supposed to be fun, right? If you're diligent about planning and you have a plan going into your day, and if it's possible to schedule a vacation around those slower times of year, you're not going to have long wait times. And again, the Express Pass might not be worth it for you. And don't forget, if you do need a little additional help planning your next Universal Orlando vacation, be sure to go check out our website, theparkprodigy.com. We do have a bunch of free vacation planning tools. We have those discounted theme park tickets, everything you need to be as prepared as possible for your next Universal Orlando trip. I think that's all the time we have for today. I really hope that you guys found this video helpful. I know I went on a rant a little bit with the math. However, I hope you really understood where I was going, trying to get my point across about, just very simply run the numbers. If the numbers make sense, the numbers make sense. But again, thank you guys so much. I will talk to you soon.